Welcome to the Explainer. You ever been on a new team or a new project, and at first it's kind of polite and awkward, then maybe things get a little tense before finally everything just clicks? Well, it turns out there's a predictable reason for that. Today, we're going to break down the 5 stages that pretty much every team goes through. See, the main idea is that great teams don't just happen overnight. It doesn't matter if it's a sports team or a group at work, they don't just magically become effective. They have to evolve. They start off as just a bunch of individuals and go through this whole process, which can be pretty bumpy, to become one solid, cohesive unit. And this isn't just some vague concept. It's actually a well-known framework. We have this really clear map for understanding how groups work together, all thanks to researchers Bruce Tuckman and Marianne Jensen. Their model gives us a way to see exactly where a team is on its journey and, more importantly, what's probably coming up next. So what does this journey actually look like? We're going to walk through each of the 5 stages, step by step, and trust me, understanding these is like having a playbook. It helps you see the challenges coming, handle conflicts better, and really guide your team towards success. All right, here they are. Forming, storming, norming, performing, and finally, adjourning. The names are kind of perfect, right? They really capture what's going on in each phase. Think of it like a team's life cycle. So let's jump in at the very beginning with the forming stage. First up, we've got forming. This is the classic getting to know you phase. You know how it is, everyone's on their best behavior, super polite, maybe a little anxious. The main thing happening here is just orientation. People are trying to figure out the goals and what their individual roles are. That's why strong guidance from a leader is absolutely crucial right here, to give everyone clarity and get things started on the right foot. But that initial politeness, it almost never lasts. Next up is what's often the hardest stage, storming. This is when reality kicks in. Different personalities, different ways of working, they all start to clash. You get some friction. Honestly, this is a make or break phase where a lot of teams get stuck. The only way to get through it is to face those conflicts head on. So if you can make it through the storm, you land in a much calmer place, norming. After working through those conflicts, the team starts to find its groove. People begin to really appreciate each other's strengths, and they establish ground rules for how to work together. This is where you see real trust starting to form, and everyone gets committed to the team's goals. And all that hard work building cohesion leads to the stage every team is aiming for, performing. At this point, the team is just a well-oiled machine. The roles are clear, everyone's on board, and the entire focus shifts to hitting those goals. The team works together seamlessly, solving tough problems without much oversight. This is peak performance, the zone every team wants to be in. But what happens when the job is done? Well, that brings us to the final and often forgotten stage, adjourning. This is the end of the line for the team. The project is finished, and the group disbands. This part is actually really important for giving everyone a sense of closure, celebrating the wins, and making sure you capture any lessons learned before everyone moves on. So there it is. We've gone from a polite introduction through some necessary conflict to building norms and finally reaching peak performance. It's a powerful roadmap for any group. So here's a thought for you. Think about a team you're on right now. Based on all this, where do you think your team fits?